So hi, we have today in our resident talk interview, Sarah. She looks very similar to Noor, which was our prior resident talk interview. And that's because they're twins. I think she talked a little bit about that on the prior interview. So what's up?
Hi everyone, this is Sarah. Not much, just another day here at MSK.
In the tropics, yeah, I'm sure you're having a great time. So I just have a few questions here, and I just you answer them the best way you can. It's like a game. So
Sure.
Let's see. So now you're obviously a diagnostic radiology resident. So what other specialties did you consider when you were in medical school? And I know obviously you finally decided you were going to do radiology. What other specialties did you consider?
Mm-hmm. So actually, while I was doing my third year rotations, I was like trying to stay open-minded about what specialty to do, and then finally by the end of third year I decided on radiology. But there were a few specialties that I considered. One of them was emergency medicine and also dermatology. But then I decided I shadow radiologist, and I thought, oh, this is pretty good specialty. I'll go for it.
Good. I mean, I think if you were a dermatologist, I would need your help. So if I can get rid of my wrinkles. I think radiology obviously is a good choice. They're pretty different though. Emergency medicine and dermatology. I guess right? Because the emergency medicine is high paced and. It's a shift. You do shift, and dermatology seems to be more like clinical medicine, right, away from the hospital. But
Yeah.
I think you chose wisely.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm very happy with my choice.
Good. So all right. So you're a first year resident. So you're almost finishing your first year. You already did your internship. With the knowledge that you have, what kind of job do you see yourself doing after you finish your fellowship?
So actually, I feel like this is something I'm still trying to learn about jobs and what are my options with jobs. I feel like here we have some faculty who talk to us about potential jobs after graduation, some education about what to think about, what kind of questions to consider. But I think I will probably try to do something with a little bit independence and maybe have practice with my sister.
So
we can be partners.
Oh, okay. But oh wow! So you guys gonna have the Sarah and Noor radiology practice?
Yes, Alnazal sisters.
Alnazal sisters. Oh, that sounds cool. But so I guess you're gravitating more towards private practice than academics.
I think so. At this time, yeah.
Okay, well, academics not for everybody. So I'm just gonna have to say. So all right, Sarah. So as a resident, how do you prevent burnout? Because it seems like it's like kind of the talk of the town for physicians that getting burnout for a lot of reasons, and most of the reasons are because we tend to do a lot of things that are not associated with patient care, like the medical record, or fighting with a computer or whatnot. So. As a resident here, what do you try to do yourself to prevent getting to the level of burnout?
Yeah, definitely. This is something very important for me. I feel like I really picked up very good habits since med school, and that translated into residency as well. I think what I learned is you have to always remind yourself to do your best without burning out. So reaching your best potential, but also keeping your sanity. So I try to make time for my family. Family is very important for me, and the friends. Try to do things that make my heart happy. And I make sure I spend some time with family, friends, do activities. I love to travel too. I try to travel as much as possible to kind of have a different perspective, and that makes me appreciate what I'm doing when I see different things and see.
So kind of a way to recharge.
A way to recharge.
And be able to come back to work. Because sometimes it gets difficult here with all the call. I mean, in every residency, it's just part of being a resident. So it's important to have this in mind because, sometimes preventing burnout starts with you, and where are your limits, where are your boundaries, and how do you find a way to respect them, which is for you find a way through family and traveling, which is great. So all right, so let's move on to San Antonio. So what's your favorite meal here in San Antonio, Texas?
Oh, favorite meal, that's tough. I love all kind of food. But here in San Antonio, I especially love all the Tex-Mex, and I would say my favorite is nachos. I've been to different states, and every time I go to like a Mexican restaurant or any other restaurant and they offer nachos, I'm like, I'll get this, and every time it's not the same as San Antonio, so I have to eat nachos.
I'm gonna have to agree. And just for people to, I mean, in San Antonio, we're not talking about stadium nachos with the nachos in the plastic with the cheese.
Oh,
we're
we're talking about real nachos, and I guess if you're not from San Antonio, I don't know if you know what are real nachos.
You don't really know what I agree with it. Yeah, you need to be here. Come for the. I mean,
come for the nachos.
Come for the education. Stay for the nachos.
Yes.
So do you have a favorite restaurant, or you don't have any favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? I don't really know. I like to explore different restaurants. I don't know if I have like my number one restaurant.
Okay.
Or maybe I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, right. Mine is Chick-fil-A, but it's not.
Yeah, mine is Chick-fil-A.
Right.
I love Chipotle as well for like to go to.
That's right. So let's see. What is your favorite aspect of radiology? If you think, what is my favorite thing of the specialty, of our specialty? What would that be?
I think my favorite thing is with radiology. It's kind of amazing how you can look inside someone's body virtually. I guess like with the imaging and the advanced imaging, and also the other thing is with learning. I think for residents it's very independent, and it's a lot of anatomy. I really loved anatomy in med school. I mean, now when I say this, I'm like, am I really sure it's way more anatomy than I imagined? More than what I was prepared for, but I really liked anatomy in med school, so I really appreciate that part of it. And it's also very visual. I mean, you have to know pathophys to connect what you see with pathophysiology, but I like this aspect of it where you see the finding, connect the dots, and come up with interpretation.
You know, when radiologists say to others, what is inside is what counts, they really mean it.
Yeah.
Literally, we really, what is inside of you is important, not the superficial.
Yeah, not the superficial.
This is not dermatology. In radiology, we love what is inside of you, really, literally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have to agree with that. That's, what's inside is what's important.
What's important.
All right, just a crazy question. So if I was a genie out of a lamp, and I could grant you one wish, what would it be and why?
One wish. Okay, so this is a very loaded question. But I think for me, I would say, this is a little bit philosophical, but I think the main thing, like personal wish, is just being happy, because I feel like, I mean, I am happy, but I would love to, until the last day of my life, to be to have enthusiasm for life, motivation, and peace of mind.
Yeah.
So I feel like growing up, I had a lot of big dreams. At the time, they sounded like impossible dreams, but I achieved each one of them. So far. And so that made me realize, and then, you achieve something, you are so proud of yourself, but then it normalizes. This is like, you live your dream. So the most important thing is to just be very happy and enthusiastic about life, and keep dreaming. So that's what I wish for myself, to just keep dreaming.
I think that's the best wish. I feel like as a long-time mentor, I try to tell people, success in life is being happy.
Yes, that's exactly
Which
what
there
it
is not a precise recipe for anybody.
No.
Okay, this is what you need to do exactly to be happy. It differs from personality and person to person.
Yeah.
But if you ask me who's successful in life, well, if you're happy with what you have
Yeah.
and you feel fulfilled,
Mhm.
then you're a happy person. So I think that's probably the best wish. I thought you were gonna say like, I don't know, like a Tesla or a mansion or maybe winning the lottery. World peace? How about world peace?
Of course, but I thought that was more like personal.
Yeah,
but of course,
yeah.
we all need world peace.
That's for sure, especially
Yeah.
these days. All right.
These days, yeah.
So the last question: what's the best advice you have ever received, and why?
Okay, so the best advice I can think of right now is, and I always remind myself of that. In medical school, one of the upper level students told us, just do your best all the time, but take care of yourself and know your limits and self-care. So I think that was the best advice, is to always do your best, but also knowing what your limits are and when to say no, when to take a step back and to keep going. Because I feel like for us, and especially a lot of people in medicine, I think would agree with me, we have a lot of people who with the kind of personality who always want to improve, always want to do better, and sometimes we forget to, sometimes it's okay to take a step back, reevaluate, and then do more.
Yeah, well, I think that as a physician, and in general life, one of the most difficult things, but very important, is what you say, is learning how to set your boundaries so you can take care of yourself and your wellness, and also learning how to say no.
Yes.
And for people like overachievers, like you're saying, that's very difficult. We tend to say yes because we want to accomplish more, just like you said. But we have to learn how to set our boundaries, and it starts with understanding what are our boundaries and having people respect them, and we respect them ourselves, and also learn how to say no. So, well, it's been great talking to you, my friend Sarah.
Great talking to
Yeah,
you.
she looks like Noor. And remember, like in 7 years, if you're around San Antonio, you can look for Alnazal Radiology, and
Yes.
there'll be a team here of 2 twins offering radiology services. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, I guess you gotta come this way a little bit. I know you don't like me, but just for
No.
it's not going. Just for the interview.